Hello YouTube, it's Lane here with Hobbies of a Man once again, and today we are doing another light novel review. Now today we are going to be reviewing Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, Volume 4. This is written by Fujino Omori, illustrated by Suzihito Yasuda, published by Yen On, as you guys can see right there. And the demographic is seinen, and the genre is pure fantasy. I guess you could say that there's an element of gamelet there with the way that the world works and how adventurers level up and have ranks. But it's not really based on anything video game-like. It's just like a byproduct of having magical creatures, kind of. And the light novel series does have an adaptation in manga form, anime form, or, well, it's technically OVAs, not like a traditional anime, which I don't think there is much of a difference there, so it doesn't really matter. And there's a few spin-off stories. There's Sword Oratoria, and I think there's these things called Familiar Chronicles, and there's also episode Ryu, or Liu, whatever. It's about the elf character that Belle meets at the tavern that he visits often. So the premise here for this volume is actually kind of a transitioning period between the end of the first arc and the beginning of the next one. So the story is essentially just kind of setting up and developing a new character to help Belle progress in the story. So yeah, that's basically it for that. Now on to the plot line. It's actually very good, and I do want to mention that this story, or this book, actually contains the main story, which ends around chapter, or page 160, 170, something around there. And then it contains two side stories. One of them is about 20 to 30 pages long, and the other one is only about 10 pages. The first side story is called Quest X Quest, and the second one is called A Campanella for the Goddess, I think is what it's called. And yeah, so the key plot points here are basically Belle has to go get registered as a level 2 after defeating the Minotaur in the last book. Then he has to go pick up armor, where he meets a new character who I really like. I think he's really cool. He's a blacksmith, so there you go. Then they go spelunking for quite a bit. And that's basically it. That's all the three key plot points here. There's a few other things, and then there's a few perspective changes and stuff. But in general, the main storyline of this is just getting registered and then spelunking with some new gear, which is cool. And I actually really enjoyed this volume a lot. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed just seeing Belle relax and kind of figure himself out after gaining a level. Or actually, it's not even gaining the level that was really important to me. It's just the fact that he managed to grow as an individual, and now that he has grown, he kind of doesn't know where to go and what's next for him. And eventually he does realize, hey, the dream that I had as a kid is the dream that I still want to achieve, so I'm going to continue to work towards it. And I think it's really cool. It reflects really nicely in his abilities and his power system. So it's really, really cool. It works really nicely. Now, characters-wise, I really enjoyed the characters that were present in this volume. Belle, Lily, and Hesia are always nice characters. I quite like them a lot. Eyes was present for a little bit. Seer and Liu showed up, obviously, because that he goes there quite often. Aina was here too. She didn't really do much, but I really like her as a character. She's so cute and so like, she's so big sisterly, if that makes sense. Like, she wants to take care of Belle a lot, and in order to do that, she decides to scold him often. And it never really works because Belle just has that much drive and passion that he doesn't care if he gets hurt. He wants to do what he thinks is right. And I really like their relationship. The real star of the show in this volume was definitely Welf Krauser, which is the new character. He is a blacksmith, and he has a bit of a family history and kind of comes from a special lineage and stuff. And I really like his character. I also like the way Omori wrote him and his craft, like how he goes about creating his blacksmithing project or his weapons. It was just so like enchanting how he wrote about this guy getting into the zone and just pouring his blood, sweat, and tears into his craft. And I really liked it. I thought it was really awesome. But yeah, I mean, I really like the relationship he has with Belle as well. It's very light early on, but there's definitely an element of trust and like brotherly love between them that kind of starts to develop, and I quite like that a lot. I think Belle has a lot of female characters around him that provide a lot of things for him, and he provides a lot of things for them, but he was definitely missing a male companion, and I really like that we got one for him now. And I think Omori did too, because he talks about it in the afterwards. So, and I really enjoyed just the characterization that was put into Welf a lot, and his backstory was really interesting. So I won't say anything about it to avoid spoilers. Now, the world building here increased a lot. I mean, I don't think I can really talk about much of it, but it was nice to learn a lot about how leveling works and how the gods get together and choose names for the adventurers and get like really into it, and they kind of use it to both punish and play with each other when they name different adventurers when they level up. And I didn't really understand that because so I understand gods being petty against each other. It's pretty common actually in a lot of mythology. What I didn't really understand was they give them names, and what sounds really nice and awesome to us sounds ridiculous to them and horrible, and they get really mad when because they like get together in a council chamber thing and they like vote together to pick names. And being petty gods, sometimes they make it so that an adventurer for a specific familia gets a name that they think is bad, but humans actually end up really liking them. And so I'm not really sure how that works. That kind of weird communication failure between gods and humans occurs there. And what sounds really amazing to a human character is kind of really crappy to a god, but I didn't understand why it was crappy, or why it, like, those names were not good. So I would have liked more explanation on that. But besides that, the way that they explain how leveling and how getting skills and magic stuff works was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really wonderful because it allows for the magic system to differ from other magic systems and light novels that are all purely based on video game style leveling, right? It's very interesting because basically you get Exalia, which is experience points, but I think you get different types depending on what type of monsters you kill and the way that you are as a person. And so each person is going to have different growth. And beyond that, it's not necessarily about like killing one monster to get one type of experience or another. It's more about like a cumulative kind of system that isn't all that clear, but it's very, very interesting. I want to learn more about it. I actually think it would have been nice to write this or write more parts out of it in the perspective of a god, and preferably use that as a way to develop the magic system, like the gods creating it or the gods kind of explaining it to each other. But maybe that's something that will come later, so I don't know. But yeah, the world building was really wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Now, the art was really good. It was really well done. I really liked some of the scenes that were depicted. There was one that I didn't like because I didn't know what was happening. I think that the scene that was being depicted is Belle with his newly powered up body kind of like defeating or jumping over a different monster, but the way it was drawn didn't feel like that. It kind of just like, it just felt blurry and like there wasn't anything there, and I didn't really enjoy that because I felt that we basically lost an illustration that could have been so much better. But the one that I really liked was the one about Welf. There was a scene where he and it was working on a piece of armor, and the following an illustration for it was wonderful. I loved it so much. There was such an intensity in his eyes, and like the way that heat seemed to be dissipating over him was really awesome. It was really, really cool. But yeah, fan service wise, I don't think there was actually any fan service, which is weird because the cover kind of definitely implies some fan service there with Hephaestus putting Belle's face to her chest, and this as well. Which is weird because Hephaestus didn't even show up in the volume, so I don't know why that was. But yeah, no fan service this volume. I assume that there's going to be more as the series progresses, but currently there wasn't anything meaningful or anything that really happened there. So yeah, I think I'd rate this a 4 out of 5. I don't think I've rated any book in this series less than a 4. And I don't think that this is any weaker than any of the previous ones. It's definitely not as good as book 3, which was the culmination of Belle's first storyline. And that one was crazy, really good. So this is, I think a 4 is a good level because it is consistent with all the other novels. And I really enjoyed the world building aspects that were explored here. So that's it for that. Now, do I recommend this title? Yes, I think this is a really good one. If you were mad about the first 3, try reading this one and see if you like it. If not, well, the series is probably not for you at that point. Similar titles though, I don't know actually. I can't remember what I recommended last time, but I think thinking about it now, I don't know, there's just nothing that really encompasses anything all that similar to this. I mean, if you wanted to look at game style power levels in light novels, there's like thousands of isekai that you could look at. Rising of the Shield Hero, Overlord, Slime, Log Horizon, all of those work well enough, but I don't think there's any specific novel that I can think of where the main character is so heroic and so like sure of what he wants. He really feels like a shonen protagonist, which a lot of light novel protagonists don't feel like. So I'm not exactly sure that I can pinpoint any specific title that would be all that similar. I guess maybe Infinite Dendrogram might be kind of similar, although Infinite Dendrogram does deal with a lot more psychological, kind of Batman-esque themes with the main characters, so I'm not really sure if that's necessarily accurate. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.